Yes, guys, welcome from me. Yet another player profile, Championship Manager 0102. And look, let's look at who it is now. This guy, I've got a lot to say about this guy. For the simple reason, he is amongst the very, very best in CM 0102, in my opinion. Now, it's funny because he's been in the news recently because I think he's done an interview with Gary Neville, and I saw him on an Instagram post, and I thought, oh fuck, who's that? And I thought, shit, that is the legend, the great Ruud van Nistelrooy, or Nistelrooy. Let's talk about him on CM. So I've fired up the game, which is 8 seasons in, 8 seasons in, and he's as loyal as your dog, right? And in particularly within the game I'm referring to here, because he's very prolific. He'll stay at Man United. I can only imagine he's got Man United listed as one of his favourite clubs. So let's take a look then. There you see, Season 1, 40 goals in 59. Season 2, that was obviously his best. 38, 22, 22. I mean, he's faced off a little bit as he's got older, which is going to be natural. But he is really a fucking lethal striker. Somebody asked me about buying the player Maximin Sigalko, and he's a goal machine. I'm not going to call him a cheap player, but if you're Man United, you don't need Sigalko. Van Nistelrooy will do it. You know, he comes into that category of like Batistuta, Montilla, Crespo. He will just score a shitload of goals for you. The average ratings are there to be seen. You can see, second season, he had a higher average rating on 10 less games, 839. Absolute gem of a player. Now, it's funny because I remember, I remember when Van Nistelrooy moved to Man United. He was supposed to move in 2000/2001, but he was plagued by injuries. As you can see, with PSV, he was really plagued by injuries a couple of years before he joined Man United. I mean, look at that season, 99 to 2000. That's insane. In real life, that is, obviously. 29 goals in 23 appearances. No wonder Man U bought him, and Man U held firm, to be fair. They were supposed to get him in the year 2000, but it broke down. They got him the following season, and you've got to hand it, right, to Alex Ferguson here for taking such a fucking punt on a player who spent virtually the whole season injured, but he knew what he was capable of. And he was a great player for Man United. The one memory I've got of Van Nistelrooy, as we switch into real life now, is, you all know what I'm going to say here, and I feel for Van Nistelrooy on this, is when he missed that penalty against Arsenal and Martin Keown fucking gets in his face. I fucking hate Martin Keown for that. I know he's apologised about it, but until he apologises to me directly, Keown can fuck off. But, you know, and I really felt for him because he wasn't a cunt of a player, he was a moral professional. And the great thing about him is, because he wasn't English, it's great to be able to say such nice things about a player that made it over here in what I believe is the toughest league in the world, the best league in the world. I'm not being biased there because I'm English, I'm stating a fact. So, obviously, Dutch started his career with Den Bosch, if that's how you pronounce it, Heerenveen, and then, of course, PSV Eindhoven, which is where he really platformed to Man United. Where did he go from Man United? In 2006, he went to Real Madrid. Didn't do too bad, but it was plagued by injuries. His injuries started to kick in again towards the back end. 46 goals in 68 appearances. Went to Hamburger and Malaga. That's where he finished his career, at Malaga. But what a record at the end. Appearances 449, one shy of 450. 249 goals, one shy of 250. So it's more than a goal every other game. So absolutely brilliant. Not to mention 70 caps for Holland and 35 goals. So a goal every other game. And it is great to see such a record. Now he is a current manager of PSV Eindhoven, or he's a current head coach. This opens up the question, head coach or manager, what's the fucking difference? I think there's a lot of difference, because it means who calls the fucking shots. But he's been around the block with a managerial career. He was the assistant for Holland in 2014 to 16. PSV, I mean, under 19s. And what I like, right, is he's taken his badges. You know, he's not gone to, he's not been put straight in at the deep end or gone straight for the big challenge. He's not gone to the little club to work his way up, which I'm not against by no means. But he was PSV under-19s, did another stint as the Holland assistant. I'm not quite sure why there was 2 stints, or if he still did that stint as the under-19s. I'm not 100% on that. The PSV reserves, and then of course PSV. I think he deserves it. He really does deserve it, and I would like to see him do really, really well. But a great player, a great professional, but very unlucky with injuries. In terms of CM, with the injury prone, he's not that bad. So, to be honest with you, in my opinion, they didn't do the injury prone like they should have to reflect real life, because he arrived at Man United. This was his first season at Man United, and he was on the back of a bad injury. But in terms of the game, absolute prolific. I think it'd be very, very difficult to get him unless you are Man United, or Man United have treated him unfairly, which is very, very rare. He would be a fucking immense player to get. And as you can see here, he's never left Man United, so he's always signed new contracts. So that is the legend, the Dutch great, Ruud van Nistelrooy. If you've got anyone you want doing, let me know, share it with me, and I'll do it for you. Till next time from me, guys, take it easy.